Manchester United fans, the international break is over, and it's time to face reality. In just 2 days, we'll have the biggest game in Premier League history, the biggest rivalry ever in English football, Liverpool versus Manchester United. We're sitting 10th on the table with 10 points from a possible 21 after 7 matches. 6 points off the top. And yet, some people who call themselves United supporters are already saying, we'll lose this game. Others say, we should play for a draw. Let me tell you this for free, if there's any game we should play to win, it's this one. This isn't just another fixture. It's not just another 3 points. This is Liverpool versus Manchester United. A game of pride. Of history. Of fire. We've always risen against the big teams. When people doubt us, that's when we show up. Yes, it's Anfield, yes, the pressure is high. Yes, the records are stacked against us. But at the end of the day, it's 11 men versus 11 men. The last time we went there, we got a draw, and we could have easily won that game. So if you're saying we can't win, then maybe you don't understand what's happening, and what's coming. Every game in this league is a battle. After Liverpool, we face Brighton, a team that's beaten us home and away since 2023. Then Nottingham Forest away, another team that embarrassed us last season. And then Tottenham away, that beats us 4 times last season. Do you think any of these games are easy? No game is easy. We have to start believing again. The fans have to believe. The players have to believe. Because when it comes to rivalries, form goes out the window. It's all about desire. We need to make a statement at Anfield. And that brings me to something important, the formation and the tactical setup. Earlier this week, I built a system that I felt was perfect for facing Liverpool, a strong, balanced 3-4-2-1 setup. But now, after watching more clips, analysing our shape, and seeing what's coming out from Carrington, I think we need to make some key changes. But before we get to those changes, let's talk about Ugarte. Now, a lot has been said in the media lately, reports that Ugarte had a fallout with Amorim. Some sources even said it's similar to the talk Amorim had with Garnacho when he told him to look for another club. Apparently, Amorim told Ugarte that he hasn't been the same player he was at Sporting, and honestly, that's not far from the truth. Look, Ugarte is good, yes. He's hardworking, he's aggressive, he's passionate, but for me, he's not yet at the standard Manchester United truly need in midfield. I said this before he was even signed, he's not the long-term solution we're looking for. Remember PSG? When Luis Enrique came in, he immediately wanted João Neves instead. He didn't trust Ugarte in that system, and now look at PSG's midfield, João Neves and Vitinha are running the show, calm on the ball, intelligent with their positioning. It's not by coincidence. Ugarte doesn't fit the profile Enrique wanted, and honestly, he's not the type of midfielder Amorim's system thrives on either. Now don't get me wrong, Ugarte gives you energy and tackles, but he's limited when it comes to playing under pressure, receiving deep passes, or controlling the tempo of the game. If you look at Liverpool midfield, they have very good players physically and technically. We need a player that is very physically present, that's why I went for Ugarte. But with this fallout he has had, I think Casemiro will be the best option for this game. As we need all players to be mentally strong to play against a team like Liverpool in Anfield. So in this game, I'd go back to Casemiro. We need experience, leadership, and calmness. We can't afford players out of form mentally or physically in a game like this. Anfield doesn't forgive mistakes. Now, I said in my last video sticking with the 3-4-2-1 formation. But this time, we need to make changes in some key areas. Now, speaking of Mount. I know many people are calling for Cunha to start, even I myself wanted that, but let's be realistic. Cunha has played heavily for Brazil over the break. Mount, on the other hand, is fresh, motivated, and coming off a goal he scored against Sunderland, he is buzzing. He's energetic, he presses well, and in a game where we need aggression and quick transitions, that's priceless. We need that energy to chase the ball in the midfield. That's how we can stop Liverpool in the midfield. That's how we can win the balls for a counter-attack. that's how we can stop their passing lines. In this tactical plan, Mount's role is vital. We're not pressing Liverpool high, but the moment the ball enters midfield, that's where we engage. We cut off passing lanes, force errors, win the ball, and then explode into counterattacks. We've seen this before. It works. Amorim's system thrives on quick transitions, and Mount fits perfectly for that aggressive disruption role. So I will put Mount in place of Cunha. Now, let's talk about the number 9, Benjamin Sesko. I've seen some fans saying we should bench him and start Cunha up top. But listen, that's not the play. Sesko's presence alone changes everything. He's a magnet for defenders. He drags Van Dijk out of position, creates chaos, and opens space for our inside forwards. In this system, the number 9 is not just there to score, he's a decoy, a wall, a threat that frees up others to strike. He is a distraction to the opposition defense. We even saw it against Sunderland. Sesko's movement pulled defenders away, and Mount capitalized with a goal. So we stick with Sesko. He's confident right now, scoring in back-to-back games, and confidence in a striker. You never waste that. You feed it. Then there's the right wing-back role. A lot of fans are saying play Amad Diallo. But let's be honest, against players like Gakpo, Ugarte, and others? That's a defensive risk. We can't afford that. We need a proper defender there, someone who can hold his line and still bomb forward when the chance comes. Amad can be a game-changing sub. Imagine bringing him on late in the game when legs are tired. He can come in and change the game together with Cunha. We need a strong starting 11 and a strong bench. That's how you win at Anfield. So back to the tactics. When we don't have the ball, we must transition into a 5-4-1 compact block. It's a 3-4-2-1 formation, yes, but without the ball it takes the shape of a 5-4-1. That's how this formation is played. That means every man drops behind the ball, disciplined, organized, compact. That's how we can go into a game like this in Anfield. So in summary, the key is to play a compact midfield block. When we lose the ball, everyone drops back. The wing-backs fall into line, the midfield narrows, and we create a wall that's almost impossible to pass through. Liverpool love playing quick, vertical passes into the half spaces, especially from Alexis Mac Allister or Szoboszlai, and that's exactly where we must suffocate them. We cut off those lanes, force them sideways, frustrate them into overplaying. Once that happens, mistakes will come, and that's where we strike. We win the ball, 2 or 3 quick passes, and boom, we're out on the counter. That's the beauty of Amorim's system. It's not about parking the bus, it's about baiting the opponent, making them think they're in control, and then punishing them when they lose shape. Liverpool press high, yes, but they leave gaps behind. The moment they commit their full-backs forward, the moment Mac Allister steps too high, that's when our midfield pounces. Casemiro wins the tackle, Bruno releases the pass, Mount and Mbeumo bursts forward. And now we have Sesko charging at Van Dijk, dragging him out of position. That's where it all opens up. When Sesko pulls Van Dijk or Konate toward him, he creates space between the lines, and that's where our 2 number 10s can hurt them. Both Bruno, Mount and Mbeumo can score from those positions. They can make late runs into the box, shoot from the edge, or thread that killer final pass. It's not just about defending, it's about transitioning perfectly from defense to attack. We must be quick, direct, ruthless. Liverpool's biggest strength, their press, can also be their biggest weakness if we're brave enough to play through it. That's where composure in midfield matters. We can't panic. Win the ball, look up, and find the next man fast. Even a single vertical pass through the middle can break 3 Liverpool lines, and once that happens, it's chaos. And remember, this setup doesn't need us to have 60% possession. Even with 40%, we can create more danger if we use transitions properly. Even Crystal Palace did it with 28% possession. Sesko doesn't have to touch the ball 10 times, he just needs to move intelligently, pull defenders, and open channels for the others to finish the job. So yes, it's not just about defending compactly. It's about defending smart, forcing errors, and attacking like lightning when those gaps appear. That's the plan. That's how we turn pressure into opportunity. That's how we go to Anfield, not to survive, but to shock them. So, to every Manchester United fan watching this, no matter where you are, in the UK, Africa, Asia, Europe, or America, this is the moment to believe again. We know we're not where we want to be. But we also know we're not where we used to be. We're building something new. The process hurts, yes. The results can frustrate us, yes. But don't lose sight of what's being built. When Amorim came in, he didn't promise instant glory, he promised identity, discipline, and direction. And right now, we're seeing the early stages of that promise. Every setback, every bad result, every painful loss, it's all part of the rebuild. And when the day comes, when this team finally clicks, when we start dominating games, scoring for fun, and lifting trophies again, you'll remember these moments. You'll remember that you believed before the success arrived. So to every fan, keep your faith. Support Amorim. Support the players. Support the process. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new Manchester United. Glory, glory, Manchester United, always and forever. And before you go, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Because here, we don't sugarcoat, we analyze with passion, truth, and love for this club.